Well, next Wednesday, the 17th of February, is Ash Wednesday, and we begin the season of Lent. Over the space of 40 days, we remember the time Jesus spent in the wilderness, alone and tested to the limits of his endurance. Traditionally, we enter into the memory of Jesus' suffering by living more simply ourselves. We might give up tea and coffee, for example, stop eating meat or drinking alcohol. Anything that brings to mind Jesus' own sacrifice and suffering. But this COVID season, I think, is rather different. So many of our freedoms are already being curtailed. So many of the things that bring us joy have been taken away. How can Lent be meaningful at such a time? Well, a little book that I've often found useful during Lent is this one. It's called Love Life, Live Lent by Paula Gooder and Peter Babington. It's designed for children, but like so many children's books, it's hugely relevant for adults. The subtitle, if you can see it, is Be the Change. It comes from some words of Mahatma Gandhi in the last century. Be the change you want to see in the world. What Gandhi meant was if you want the world to be a better place, each one of us has to change it ourselves, one action at a time. And if that's true, then why not start this Lent? And so this little book suggests some kind of activity for each of the 40 days of Lent. So here we are, week 1, Shrove Tuesday, have a pancake party. Well, I think that's a great idea. It's so easy to think it's not worth doing things at the moment when we can't invite family and friends to join us. But why not make some pancakes anyway and thank God for his gifts to us? It goes on, Ash Wednesday. Think about something you have done wrong and say sorry for it. It's so simple, isn't it? Think about something you have done wrong and say sorry for it. Maybe we need to hear that message again. Say sorry for the times we've got things wrong. And there are lots of other ideas. Get a jar and put your small change in it every day. And at the end of Lent, give that money to a charity. There's another one up here. Watch the news and pray for someone or something that you've seen on the news. And then over the page, week 2, be more creative. Make something today, like a cake, a picture, a model, a poem, or a story. What a good idea. Sometimes as adults, we think we're too busy for those things. And yet when we do creative things, they can often be hugely rewarding. And it goes on. Give a small present. Here we are. Give a small present to someone you know. Have a TV or computer-free day and do something different instead. There's an idea. Tidy a room or a cupboard in your house. Take time to play a game with someone. Take longer over breakfast. I like this one. And really taste your cornflakes. Sit still for 5 minutes and listen to your breathing. It's a very simple little book, but it contains huge wisdom. It's a way of setting apart 40 days to live a bit differently, and in doing so, to remember Jesus, who gave his life for us. Well, I've got lots of copies of this little book, and I'll leave some of them at the back of church. Do come and pick one up. And while you're there, take a moment to be still in God's presence. Take a moment to pray for our church family. If you've got children, you might like to do the activities with them one a day throughout Lent. If you're an adult, you might find you enjoy doing them too. And however you spend Lent, whatever you choose to do, I pray that we will be the change that we want to see in the world. And I pray that in doing so, we might remember Jesus and find his blessing in our lives.